Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Not a very good series up in Boston for the Orioles. The Orioles were able to win one game of the series, the middle game in a 3-game set, but the first and the second game did not go very well. Offense was asleep for most of it, and the pitching gave up runs at the wrong time, as it's been going for the past month-ish. Just too many injuries, you know? I mean, the offense is definitely suffering now because you're a little more left-handed than you usually were. You had Mountcastle, Westberg, Mateo, right-handed hitters. You could slot them in a little bit and break up the lefty madness. Or you got a few switch hitters in there too, but now that you don't have them, you're on to your second, or in even some cases, your third option. Third, because it's third base. That's funny how that worked. It's a little easier for an opposing manager to match up with their pitchers. But, excuse me. Whatever. You may have some relief soon. I'll get to the article after I get through the games here. As you can see, I'm on massinsports.com. Let's get to game 1. Baltimore Orioles 3, Boston Red Sox 12. This from Fenway Park in Boston. Whew. Henderson, a hit, a run scored, and walked once. Mullins, 0 for with only 2 at-bats. Slater, pinch hitting, ends up getting 2 at-bats himself. Why exactly you pinch hit for Mullins that early? I mean, it's fine. I do whatever. Mullins is absolutely your better defender out there. I don't know why you're pinch hitting for him that early. He definitely took a hit away. I mean, y'all saw that, right? Full on horizontal coming from left center field over to right center field. Bam! I'm not sure there was anybody watching that thought he had a chance. Even watching the replay, you kind of look at it like he doesn't have a chance to catch that ball. Yeah, he does, because he's a good center fielder. You kind of need that to win games. Maybe you should stop pinch hitting for him so much. Cowser's a good outfielder. I'm not saying that Cowser can't play the outfield. He's not as good a center fielder as Mullins. Just saying. Santander, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, walked once, scored once. O'Hearn, 0 for, he walked once. O'Hearn's struggling because why I think he's struggling is he's playing so many games in a row now. He's not used to that because Mountcastle is injured. And honestly, it doesn't look like he'll be ready anytime soon. He's down in Sarasota, rehabbing the injury. He'll be lucky if he's even ready for the playoffs, assuming the Orioles get into the playoffs. The rate that they're playing, I don't know that they can get in the playoffs, but we'll see. All right, O'Hearn under a lot of pressure. Rutschman hitting further down in the lineup, trying to get him going again. Got 2 hits in this game. Seemed to work there. Jimenez, 0 for, struck out 3 times. Yeah. Cowser, 0 for, though he did walk twice and score once. Well, there's that anyway. Mayo, 0 for. I'm really questioning, I really am. I'm questioning why Mayo's up here. Look, I know Arias went down, so you got Rivera in there. But now you got, as backup infielders, you have Maton, Mayo, and Soto. Why do you need 3 of them? You really need 3? Because apparently you don't have another person that can play the outfield. I'll get to that, a little bit later. Though I could have sworn Maton, they said he took a few reps in left field, and you would think, oh, this is Fenway Park. Nick Maton could play left field at Fenway Park, I mean, Manny Ramirez, when he was like 100 years old, could play left field in Fenway. Whatever. Yeah, Mayo over. Oh, speaking of Levon Soto, we actually got to see him hit. Well, we got to see him stand at the plate. Over in one official at bat, did work a walk in there. So 500 on base percentage. It's fairly good, right? Rivera pinch hitting late. Rivera did get a hit. Now, the interesting thing here is Holiday replaces Rivera. Well, I mean, that's obvious. If you start Levon Soto at second base, you bring Rivera in. Do you really want Rivera to play second base? Probably not. You'd probably rather have Jackson Holiday play second base. At the same time, why wouldn't you slot Jackson Holiday in there for Mayo? And then when they're walking out to the positions, you just tell Rivera and Holiday to switch. So Rivera would end up at third and Holiday would end up in second. I'm not sure why you did that. I mean, because Mayo's just not hitting. I get it. But come on, man. You got to have another option down there at AAA somewhere. Somebody. No? Okay. Rivera, Rutschman, Henderson with double, Santander with a home run. So at least they got a few extra base hits in this game. That's cool. Henderson with another fielding error. Alright, whatever. Cade Povich, not a great start here. Only able to go 4 2/3. Giving up 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned, walked 2, struck out 5. Well, you like the strikeouts. Not sure how that didn't translate into less runs given up, but well. I think the Red Sox are kind of front-loaded, or top half of the lineup loaded. Because they got 3 or 4, I mean at least 3 or 4 really good hitters there. With Devers and Ref Snyder and Tyler O'Neill and that one guy. Yoshida, I think is his name. Oh, and Duran. Yeah, I almost forgot about Duran. They got they got a few hitters. Not too much at the back end of the lineup, but definitely at the top of the lineup. Just didn't have enough. Of course, you bring in your B team, but I think half of your A team is injured. So then you got half the A team, and then the B team, and then you got these guys. I think these guys are the C team. Bert Smith, Gregory Soto, Craig Kimbrell, Cole Irvin are your relievers here. Wow, a lot of runs given up. Bert Smith, only getting 2 outs in this game, finishing off the 5th inning and getting the first out in the 6th inning. Gives up 4 hits, 4 runs, no walks, and no strikeouts. Ew, that's one of the worst performances we've seen out of Birch. Struggling a little bit last few outings. Somebody not struggling for the last few outings, which is a surprise, given the first 4 or 5 that we saw from him. Gregory Soto getting the final 2 outs in the 6th inning. Does give up 2 hits, but no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Now, he did have 2 inherited runners. He did have 2 of Bert Smith's runners on. And Soto allowed them to score with the 2 hits. So, he didn't allow his own runners to score, but he did allow runners to score. There really should be something in here more about that. I know it's down here. And it's still inherited runners dash scored. And then the numbers 2-0. As 0 as in wasn't able to keep any of them from scoring. So shouldn't it be inherited runners dash unscored? Or not scored? Because they did score. Inherited runners dash scored. They both scored. Oh. Craig Kimbrell on for the 7th inning. Ugh. Pitching the full seventh inning, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, strikes out 3. It's very odd there. Because it's not like he had a defender make a good play, like Slater making a slide and catch the other day, getting a weak pop-up because the hitter hit it, and so on and so forth. He got 3 strikeouts. It's odd. Or at the same time, it's a little bit of good news because it's not like he's completely hopeless. He's certainly not turning it around as fast as we like. But I don't know that he's hopeless. Of course, with the 2 names on the rehab assignment right now, is he in jeopardy? Yeah, I definitely think he is. Though, is somebody like Bert Smith on the chopping block first? Probably. Then who is it? I don't know. Cole Irvin on in relief of Kimbrel. Haven't heard his name in a while, I feel like. Pitching the full 8th inning. You're on a road, you lost, so silver lining is you only have to pitch 8 innings. Pitching the full 8th inning, gives up 2 hits, 2 runs, no walks, strikes out 3. Odd. Very odd. But you know how inconsistent umpire strike zones have been. Game 2, Baltimore Orioles 5, Boston Red Sox 3. Yay, we finally got a win here. Gunnar Henderson, 1 hit, walked once, scored twice. Mullins, 2 hits, 3 RBIs, walked once, scored twice. Santander, 1 hit, walked twice, scored once. Ryno Hearn finally gets a hit here. Again, I do think he's under some pressure because he's almost getting too much playing time. Too much more playing time than he's used to. And it's like his body doesn't know what to do, and his body's getting a little more tired than it normally was, I think. Rutschman trying to break out of his slump. A hit and 2 RBIs. That's going to help. Kowser 1 hit. Mayo 1 hit. Oh my God, he finally hit the ball. He's got 3 hits on the year, but wow. What is he like? 3 for 35 now? I don't get why he's here. If you weren't putting in a defensive replacement for him, i.e. Emmanuel Rivera here late, then it would make sense. But he's just not hitting. There's no outfielder because as far as I'm concerned, I think you could use another outfielder. Though I think Maton can play the outfield a little bit. I think he can. But damn sure he can play left field at Fenway Park. I mean, if you're a Major League Baseball player and you can't play left field at Fenway Park, I don't know, man. There's just not that much ground to cover. So, spoiler alert, Emmanuel Rivera, pinch hitting late, over. Well, technically, it doesn't say pinch hit. It does say third base, meaning he was sent out for defensive replacement first, and then got an at-bat later. Over. Jackson Holliday 1 hit, James McCann 1 hit. That is it. Mullins, 2 home runs. One of them was an absolute pesky pole cheapie, but it's a home run in Fenway Park. It's a home run, and, it counts as the same as all the other ones. Mullins turned it around a bit, moved up to the 2-hole because he has been hitting fairly well of late. Fairly well. Not great, but fairly well. Fairly more well than he had been at one time. Also stole a base in this game. Very good. So you had a few hitters come through for you, and you had a pitcher come through for you. You got to get both of them happening at the same time. You'll see the next game. Albert Suarez getting the start, going 6 full innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. It's a great performance right there. They keep mentioning on the broadcast, it is true, where would the Orioles be without Albert Suarez? Well, they would be in a lot worse position. Though he only does have like 8 wins on the year, so how many more wins is he worth? 8? Maybe? Cino Perez on in relief of Albert Suarez, getting 4 outs in this, pitching the full 7th inning and getting the first out in the 8th inning, giving up 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, getting 1 strikeout. Cool. Yonder Cano finishing off the 8th inning here, getting the final 2 outs of the 8th inning, giving up 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk, and striking out 2. Okay, relievers, can you stop giving up runs here? You can only afford to give up so many. Okay. Serenity Dominguez on for the 9th inning, getting his 10th save as an Oriole. Again, the full 9th inning, giving up 1 hit, but no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. So it works. Go through 15 pitches here. Okay. It's even worse considering what happened at the end of this game. Game 3, final in 10 innings. Baltimore Orioles 3, Boston Red Sox 5. That's why I noted 10 innings. Yes, the Red Sox scored 2 more runs than the Orioles. Yeah. I wonder why. Henderson 1 hit, Mullins 0. Santander hit an RBI, walked once, scored once. O'Hearn 0. Rutschman 1 hit, Kowser 2 hits, Slater 1 hit and scored a run. Holiday 0. Manuel Rivera 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and a run scored. There's only 9 names on this lineup card. Think about that for a minute. Excuse me. When have you ever seen that happen on a Brandon Hyde managed ball club? I don't know that I've ever seen it. Almost to a certain extent, I think he was abducted by aliens. Because I don't think that was Brandon Hyde. Brandon Hyde would have pitch hit for somebody. For somebody. Hell, Slater came up with men on. You didn't pinch hit somebody? I mean, you only had, because you put Santander at DH, you don't have any outfielders on your bench. Though you are at Fenway Park. You have Mullins, Kowser, and Slater in there. Excuse me. You got Maton on the bench. You got Mayo on the bench. You got Soto on the bench. You got Jimenez on the bench. Somebody can play left field at Fenway Park. And if not, you know what? Somebody can play first base. Because what you could do, you could put O'Hearn in left field, Rivera at first base, and let's say Maton at third. You could. You could do that. Or, you know what you could do? You put James McCann in the game. Okay, so, again, O'Hearn would go to left field. Maybe you swap some outfielders around or whatever. But then you have your choice of either, do you want McCann to catch and Rutschman to play first, or do you want McCann to play first and Rutschman to catch? One of them could do that. You cannot tell me that between McCann and Rutschman, one of them cannot play, or one of them has to be able to play first base. Just has to. I'm saying McCann can probably do it. I'm saying he's probably played first base, right? I swear they put one of them at first base at least once. See, so you could have done that. You didn't. I mean, it's fine, I guess. It's totally fine. It's just, it's weird that you didn't pinch hit for anybody. Of course, again, like I said when I started this video, the offense is struggling. You're on your second and even third option for some of these spots here. The quality drop off, it's just, it drops off then. Henderson with a double, Kowser with a triple, though it wasn't a triple. There was at least a one base error. I might call it a double. I'm not calling it a triple. I mean, it tipped off. Shallow fly ball, borderline pop up in between the 5.5 hole or behind the 5.5 hole. So in between the left fielder, who was Tyler O'Neill at that point, and Trevor Story, And who's your third baseman? And Devers. Story gets to it. He's a shortstop. He would call to it. Tips off his glove and shoots past Nixon. Goes all the way to the wall. Right? I mean, it's a pop-up to deep shortstop that ends up hitting the Green Monster. What? There's an error there, dudes. There's an error. Of course, at the same time, yeah, the Orioles got a runner to third with one out. Spoiler alert, they didn't get him in. If Kowser scored, they probably changed it to an error because he would have allowed a run to score on that. Since he didn't allow a run to score, you might as well give him a hit, I guess. Whatever. Santander and Rivera with home runs. Holiday with his stolen base. He definitely looks a lot better out there stealing bases. Yes, the first one he did look like a baby deer, maybe even the second one. He's looking a lot better now. Definitely getting a lot more comfortable out there. Except when he makes a fielding error. It doesn't necessarily cost us the game, but might have been a double play. You can't assume a double play. Of course, he didn't even get one out. Oh well. I'm not even sure were there two people on base at that point? No. There was only one person on base at that point. Though at the same time, if you get that out, do you intentionally walk Tyler O'Neill? Probably. Because Tyler O'Neill at the plate here, Yoshida hitting behind him. Tyler O'Neill crushes lefties. Yoshida does not. But yet, did you really want to load the bases with one out for Yoshida? But this, ladies and gentlemen, this is why Holiday didn't start the year with the Orioles. He's played, half a season, and he's still not ready for prime time? Well, he obviously wasn't ready for prime time when the year started. Sorry. He's getting there. He is getting there. But he's just not ready to start every day at second base. He just isn't. Sad thing is he kind of has to, because now we got no Westberg and we got no Urias and we got no Mateo. Traded away Norby. Whatever. Rivera also with throwing error. Oh yeah. And all when Dean Kramer pitched fabulously. Yes. I made up a word and said fabulously because he pitched so well. I mean, you thought he pitched good last time out after getting hit on the forearm in Colorado. But to go back-to-back with it now? Come on, defense. Tool bags. Come on, offense. Don't let this go to waste. And you let it go to waste. Cool. 7 full innings for Dean Kramer through 103 pitches. Gave up only 5 hits. And only 2 runs. 1 earned run. Only walking 2 in 7 innings. Striking out 7. Dean Kramer's not a huge strikeout guy. So getting 1 strikeout an inning is awesome. Perez on in relief of Kramer, getting the first 2 outs in the 8th inning, but not before giving up a hit in that time he does surrender a hit and a walk. Thankfully he doesn't give up any runs, but does allow 2 runners to end up reaching. So Cano brought in to get the last out in the 8th inning, and that's it. Through 2 pitches. Great managing. Getting the final out in the 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Now, yes, you have no idea how this is going to play out. You don't know. But what you do know is your team has already batted in the ninth inning when you send your pitcher out there because you're on the road. Do you want to put Dominguez out there or do you want to leave Cano out there who, threw 15 pitches the day before and threw 2 pitches the inning before? Seeing as how that if you do get through this ninth inning, you will get into extra innings. You do have an off day today, Thursday. This game taking place Wednesday night. I say you got to leave Cano out there to get at least 1 out. Hopefully he gets the leadoff guy out. So then, and you know what? Hopefully he gets 2 outs. You know, if he can get all 3 outs in the inning, then that's great. But you can always bring Dominguez in to finish off the ninth inning. And then hopefully you have him available maybe to at least start the 10th inning. Maybe. It would be an option. If you stretch out Cano, then you could get more out of Dominguez. But no. Put Dominguez in for the 9th inning, throws 17 pitches, which isn't that much. How many pitches did he throw the game before? 14. 14 is not that many either. So it's not like Dominguez has been throwing a lot. You could stretch out Dominguez a little bit. The Dominguez in the 9th inning, pitching the full 9th inning, does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. So you're able to push 1 run across in the 10th inning as the Oriole offense. Again, it doesn't count as an earned run because it's, the extra one out there. So that's why, Aiken gave up 3 runs, but only one of them was earned. The other one was on Holiday's error. And again, you wasted your, 2 best bullets here. Maybe even you can say 3 best bullets with Perez, Cano, and Dominguez combining for 2 innings. Aiken out there, it's not that Aiken has performed badly, but you got a few hitters out there for Boston that just crush lefties. Do you really want Aiken in for that? Excuse me. Well, as it turns out, with the extra runner out there, Aiken is able to get a strikeout. But then a ball hit the Holiday, he fumbles it. And then there you go. You have a runner on first and third. Do you want to load the bases with 1 out for Yoshida? No, you don't want to. But do you want Aiken to face Tyler O'Neill, knowing Tyler O'Neill crushes lefties, and Yoshida does not? What do you do? Well, Brandon Hyde let Aiken face Tyler O'Neill. To a certain extent, it's a 50-50 shot, right? Who knows what's going to happen? You could walk O'Neill, and then, for all you know, you could get Yoshida to ground out in a double play. Could have happened. It could have happened. Instead, Aiken hangs a slider, and O'Neill crushes it. So, and yeah, I know I mentioned umpires not having a consistent strike zone, but to a certain extent, the Orioles have kind of done this themselves and had really shit luck at the same time. Because Arias rolling his ankle going over third base, Mateo and Henderson colliding. That hurt. It really hurts your overall performance as a team, especially as an offense. Because now you kind of only have 1 speed guy. You kicking the desk and shit. So, shit luck, bad managing, bad hitting, bad pitching, bad fielding. Well, when now all that happens, you know what? You're not going to win too many games. You're going to look like a terrible team. And they kind of look like a terrible team right now. They kind of do. But let's get some updates on the injury front. Since you've last seen me, Coulomb and Webb have both had another appearance for AAA Norfolk. Scoreless appearances. So, huh, today's Thursday, it's an off day. You're not going to have any decisions like that made yet. At least not at this time. Or like, well, maybe by the time I get this video out, because it'll take me another hour, 2-ish. You might make a decision on Webb because so you can get him out there to Detroit. Maybe. But Webb's thrown 3. If his arm isn't hurting, I say he's got to get on this roster. You know? Right? Okay. You haven't used him in back-to-back nights. Okay. Is he an upgrade over... Who's the first guy off the on the chopping block out there in the bullpen? Birch Smith? Is he better than Birch Smith? Hell, you have an extra pitcher on the roster now. So you have like a 9-man bullpen? Right? Because you can have 14 pitchers. So you have 5 starters. You have a 9-man bullpen. You can stash somebody like Webb that might need 1 day on and 1 day off right after. You can stash somebody like Webb like that. Especially if he can pitch 1 inning for you. Of course, I guess that's the debate. Can he pitch a full inning for you? Well, I don't really know. I just know what, these articles like from a writer like Rock Kubatko tell me. Which is what he's doing here. You got Westberg taking swings and throwing baseballs. Like in practice. Before games and such. There's movement on that. There's Grayson Rodriguez throwing another bullpen session. So right now, those 4 guys have not reported setbacks. Or Rock Kubatko has not reported those guys reporting setbacks. Yep. So, progression on Rodriguez, Coulomb, and Westberg. And Westberg coming back. Those guys are probably at least a week away. Jacob Webb, I gotta say, has to be really close. He's either got to be on the roster really soon or 1 more rehab start. I mean, not start, but appearance. He's got to be really close to get on this roster. Hopefully, anyway. Because you need help somewhere. Alright, let's get to this schedule here. As you can see, right here, today's Thursday. It's an off day. Traveling. Oh, yeah, the Orioles probably already in Detroit. Probably try to get there a little early, I guess. Playing the Detroit Tigers. First time playing the Detroit Tigers all year. Yep, it's coming within the last 2 weeks of the season. Okay, fine. And you're right. We're going to face the Tigers at home here in a bit. Okay, I mean, however, Mr. or Mrs. Schedule Maker. Friday's game scheduled for 6:40 p.m. Saturday's game scheduled for 6:10. Sunday's game scheduled for 12:10. Okay. That's like 11 o'clock in the morning in Detroit. What? Okay. Whatever, y'all. Whatever. So while that will do it... Oh, and then you see an off day Monday. So while that will do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report, please stay tuned for Monday, and I will talk about the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Detroit Tigers. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.